Welcome to Channel B Update. I'm Jordan Roberts. Well, there is a lot going on at Briarwood, and here to give us a look at what's coming up is our events report with Parker Sanders. Take it away, Parker.
Thanks, Jordan. Well, there's a lot going on at Briarwood, so let's get right to it. Next Wednesday is career day for seniors and testing for everyone else. Next Thursday is the annual college fair, so let's get ready to check out a variety of colleges and universities visiting our school. Fall break is October 17th through the 21st, and as soon as we get back, Spiritual Emphasis Week begins from October 22nd through the 25th. That about does it for what's coming up this month. For Channel B Update, I'm Parker Sanders. Now back to you, Jordan.
Thanks for the update, Parker. Well, it's a new year and all kinds of exciting experiences await us. We asked some of this year's seniors what they are looking forward to the most, and here's what they told us.
My name is Ezekiel, and I'm here with Channel B, asking seniors what they're most excited for their senior year.
I think like the dances and the activities and just hanging out with my friends from one last year. And just cherishing it with these people for one last year until we all go off to college and trying to make lasting bonds and having a good time.
What are you most excited for your senior year?
Probably playing football and lacrosse and just being with my friends. Just having one last year.
I'm super excited for football season and homecoming dress up because I spend all year collecting all my items to dress up in, and that's like my favorite part, and I always go all out with dressing up.
I'm really excited to continue to hang out with my class and all my friends and just soak up the time with them.
Couldn't agree more. There's certainly a lot to look forward to this year. Well, our marching band is already entertaining our fans with their latest halftime performance. We sent Caitlin Smith out to learn more about this year's show.
Briarwood Marching Band is back with their new show, Night and Day. I spoke with Mr. Nugent asking him what led him to choose this year's theme.
This year's theme, the music came first, and then the theme kind of came together. It's kind of an organic process that takes weeks and months. In fact, we usually start talking about the next year's theme even as early as October and November within the staff, kind of a system to kind of filter through to make sure we all agree on what we're going to do and the message behind it, the music, and then the drill, and everything just kind of comes together.
The Briarwood Band is made up of several different personalities, so I decided to ask some of them what their favorite time was, night or day.
I prefer daytime, especially the morning time, because I love getting up early to go running.
I definitely like nighttime a lot better, mainly just because I don't like hearing the Apple alarm clock on my phone going off. But I also really like to sleep, and I'm also at home.
I prefer daytime because I really like being out in the sun and walking my dog.
Come see the Briarwood Band perform under the lights at the Briarwood football games this fall. For Channel B Update, I'm Caitlin Smith.
Great job, Caitlin. We sure do love our marching lions. What else do students love? Lunch. But did you know that our cafeteria staff also serves breakfast? Here's more on what's on the morning menu.
At 10 till 7, we make biscuits, mutton sausage, and muffins. And something we don't always have, but it's what I call SEC. It's a pancake, sausage, egg, and cheese. And it's the best. It puts syrup on it, and it's so good.
Sounds great. Now it's time for Austin Johnson to serve us up some sports. Take it away, Austin.
Hi, I'm Austin Johnson. Welcome to Channel B Sports. Briarwood's new volleyball coach, Coach Camper, has our team looking good as they're heading into the area tournament. We got a chance to sit down with Coach Camper and find out a little bit more about him and what he brings to our school and his players.
Tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm Coach Camper, the volleyball coach. I've been doing this for about 25 years. I've got a daughter that's an 8th grader here on the JV team, and this is our first season. So just enjoying the time with the girls, and I think we've been pretty successful so far, and looking forward to finishing up the season. But I've been doing volleyball for a while and excited to be at Briarwood.
What all schools have you been at?
I spent 10 years as the head coach at Hoover High School. Before that, I spent about the same, close to the same at Mountain Brook. Before that, Spain Park High School, where I started that program. So been around, been in a lot of different places, retired from teaching and coaching in 21, and the administration here, Coach Wilson and staff brought me in kind of out of retirement to try to restore Briarwood back to the way it used to be. It's a dominant volleyball program.
How do you think Briarwood differs from the other schools you've coached at?
Well, I think the community feel is definitely different. You know, when you're at Hoover, there's 3,000 kids. It's so big. There's not a lot of a connection between the students. You actually end up having students and teachers that don't know each other. So I like the smaller Briarwood feel here. I think school spirit is great here, and I think the student involvement is a huge difference. Obviously, I don't have the number of athletes to choose from I'm used to having, but the kids are awesome, and it's a breath of fresh air for me.
And finally, how does the talent level and competitive drive differ from the other schools you've coached at?
Well, I think, you know, we're working on the competitive drive. It would be unfair to compare Briarwood. It's really numbers-wise a 4A or a small 5A school to Hoover. So I would say the competitive drive we're building, and we've got some the Young Lions program and youth programs that are going to help us to increase our talent. So pretty excited about where we are and where we're going.
Glad to have you here, Coach. Well, in just about in any sport, there are bound to be some injuries. Broward does its best to help prevent all of our student athletes from getting injured. We spoke to some of our coaches about how they do this, and here's what they had to say.
What steps of precaution are you taking to prevent injury this year?
I am taking lots of steps of precaution. First, in how we teach, how to tackle, and how to hit. Second thing is I've upgraded a lot of the helmets. We've now got more Visus helmets. We've got the Riddell Axiom helmets going. And so just an upgrade every about 5 years. They come out with new football helmets that are better. And so we keep upgrading just to make sure we have the latest and best stuff out there. And then I think a lot of it's also teaching how to do things. And then Kyle Southall, Bailey do an amazing job helping in that whole process. And getting people back, but also doing prehab stuff. And our weight room does a really good job of not only getting stronger, but strengthening tendons as well.
What injuries affect your sport the most?
I think shoulders. I think it's all extremity issues, whether it's knees, ankles, shoulders, elbows. Those are the main injuries that you see in football. The extremities. There's nothing, typically those are the most common.
So, how are the new equipment and research affecting recovery times?
Yeah, I think there's a lot happening in that area to see how quickly people can get back. I mean, what Ben McNulty's done with his knee, all the different training that Kyle Southall has put in, and all of the therapy he's gone through, the different machines that he has access to from running standpoint. And then we also have the GPS trackers. And so now we know when a kid sprains his ankle and he comes back a week later and he says, I'm like 75% good. Well, your numbers say you're actually 83% good or you're 62% good. So we can actually, because of the GPS trackers, know at what speed they were pre-injury, post-injury. We can compare, and we can know when they're 100%, when they're 90%.
Sure. What steps of precaution are you taking for injury prevention this year?
So this year we are working with an ARC trainer, which is new, and that allows us to put some of our athletes on the ARC trainer or the elliptical, get mileage for our team there without actually having them like do a lot of mileage on the ground, a lot of the pounding and the overuse injuries that we have.
Sir, what are the most common injuries in your sport?
Overuse injuries. Cross country is that's our number one concern is overuse injuries. We just do a lot of mileage. So it's not like torn ACLs or like dislocated shoulders. It's stress fractures, bursitis, tendonitis in the lower legs, that kind of thing.
How are injuries affecting running this year?
We have a few injuries that have been kind of like the whole season. We're kind of in that point of our season now. We're 6 weeks in, where we've got a lot of just nagging injuries, and we've got a couple of sprained ankles. From what we see this year, though, we should be healthy by the end of the season, so the state meet should be like full strength.
How are the new recovery equipment and research on injuries affecting the recovery time and the prevention of injury?
So, like I said before with the ARC trainer, one of the things that we have to do is we have to limit the amount of like pounding that the legs and lower body get in our sport. And so having an elliptical ARC trainer and even the treadmill that's in the weight room gives us opportunities to minimize that impact. And then also we've been, over the last 3 seasons, been doing a lot more strength training in the weight room, and anything that stabilizes joints and lower body prevents injury and rolled ankles and overuse injuries as well.
What are the differences, if any, in the injuries in track and field and cross country?
Oh, that's a good question. They are similar. A lot of times they will show up in different, like with our sprinters, we'll have a lot more knee pain, ankle pain, hip pain. And then in cross country, a lot of times it's more like bony pain. So it's like on the shins or like in the feet. And so it's just location is a little bit different. We still, again, in track generally don't, unless there was like some kind of accident, there's not like your like contact injuries. So like torn ACLs, those are very rare in track and almost unheard of in cross country. But just kind of the different location on the body of where the injuries might occur.
Thanks for all you do to keep us safe. Now back to you, Jordan.
Thanks, Austin. Wondering what the weather is going to be like outside? Here's Ezekiel Jones with a look at our weather.
For a forecast you can count on, here's Ezekiel Jones with Channel B Weather.
It's pretty nice.
Thanks, Ezekiel. That guy sure knows about weather. Well, Briarwood is blessed to have so many great teachers. Coach Wise is someone we like to turn to learn more about how God is working within our culture. He was kind enough to sit down with us for a segment we like to call Wise Words.
Thanks, Jordan. Now we're here with Coach Wise for some Bible questions. Coach Wise, when do you think the world will end?
Obviously, I don't think you can give a date to it, but in my understanding, it's gonna be a long time.
Okay.
Thousands of years.
Okay. Do you think Christians should worry about politics?
Yes. If we believe that the Bible is comprehensive to shape our worldview, and worldview includes politics, then we should worry about politics and try to align our political beliefs to the scriptures and not the scriptures to political beliefs.
Yes, sir. Do you think dogs and other animals go to heaven?
Do you think they go to heaven?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. There's some debate. It says the breath of life is in the animal. It says it's in the humans. I do think there'll be animals in the new heavens and new earth. I don't know if it'll be, our personal dogs. But if we're sad because our personal dog isn't in heaven, then we're probably there for the wrong reason, or we might not be there at all. I'm just playing.
Thanks, Copeland, and thank you to Coach Wise for sharing your gifts with us. Well, that does it for this month's Channel B update. We hope you look forward to seeing us next month with more of all things Briarwood. Until then, God bless and go Lions.